Sagittarius. Okay, Saggies. Hey, my Saggies. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Sagittarians always have just this like little positive little vibe. It's always so positive. For the most part, you know. Of course, you have your shadow side like everybody else, but at first, it's always good. For most of you guys, right? So let's go ahead and see what's going on with your messages. Hopefully it's positive and it just stays on the same track that, you know, it should be on. But let's see, Sagittarius, what does God want you to know? These are going to be anointed divine messages, prophetic messages, just right for you, okay? It's here to help you, all right? So I know I have a mothering nature, but that's because of who I am. But I'm not trying to make you feel small or anything. It's just that I'm truly sacred. Like, I really do have a different type of love. So sometimes it can be expressed through what I say, all right? All right, so Sagittarius. Ooh, okay, this is going to be really deep here. Okay, we have the book of Job for you. Book of Job, chapter 34, page 644. Okay, 644. Then Elihu said, "Hear my words, you wise men. Listen to me, you men of learning. For the ear tests words as the tongue tastes food. Let us discern for ourselves what is right. Let us learn together what is good." Job says, "I am innocent, but God denies me justice. Although I am right, I am considered a liar. Although I am guiltless, his arrow inflicts an incurable wound. Is there anyone like Job who drinks scorn like water? He keeps company with evildoers. He associates with the wicked, for he says there is no profit in trying to please God." Listen, you're being judged, Sagittarius, point blank, period. Or if this is not you, this is somebody you know, but I'm feeling like for 70% of Sagittarians, and if this is you, 30% of you, especially in different age groups and different demographic, this may not be for you. You may be the 30% where you're a witness to this, but still listen, because it's something that should resonate, because you may know about it. Somebody's being judged right now very, very harshly by your closest friends, closest associates, closest people, colleagues, or even maybe questioning the people that you used to be connected to, working together with, or a part of something with. There's a lot of judgment surrounding affiliations right now. A lot of people thought that because you hung around a certain group of people, or because you were a part of a certain thing, because you belong to a particular movement or a particular agency or a particular branch in government or whatever it is, because of whatever you were involved in, whatever industry you were involved in, they felt like you were definitely like that particular group of people, because things may be happening, very wicked things. Because you notice it says he keeps company with evildoers, he associates with the wicked. See, a lot of people feel like you associate yourself with the wicked because this group of wicked people must be going down for something right now. They must have done something really, really wicked to somebody. And because they're all experiencing things right now and you had connections or ties to them, I don't care what it is. It could be connections to government, CIA, it could be the Navy, whatever you were connected to. Because of all the corruption and all of the wickedness, and because you were tied to it in some kind of way, any industry, whatever it is, they feel like since you associate with them, then you must be judged too. So that's coming from people, okay? Could be your, like I said, closest friends, family, everything. And people could be trying to say that there is no profit in trying to please God. They could be saying that you're that kind of person where it's like you could be trying to tell people that you're for God. You're, you have blessings or different things in your life because God is on your side. But people are looking at you like, it doesn't make sense for you to say that because they're trying to block your money or something like that. It's like it could go two different ways. Either you are the type of person that does try to please God and you do try to do the right things, and the reason why you still have your job or you still have your role or position at your job is because you are trying to please God, and that's how you're still able to get the things that you have, because you still are trying to do that. And they could be trying to take you away from your money, your job, something like that, like your successes. Or it could be the other way where it could be another way where people are saying that if you do say you praise God or believe in God, they may be feeling like you don't, because the amount of money you have, people could be like, you don't praise or worship God because you have money. That God is not a God that's all about money. Like if you really were pleasing God, then you wouldn't be one of the richest people alive. Or if you really were pleasing God, then you wouldn't have accepted that bonus money for the campaign, the smear campaign or something. Or if you really were for God, then you wouldn't be able to still be working around these people involved in the corruption. If you really were trying to please God, and if you really were for God, you would have been separated from people like that, and you probably wouldn't have as much, because God is not a God that's all about gold, diamonds, money, riches, and all of that. Even though God has these things in the kingdom, these things are already God's birthright. It's an inheritance naturally. It's created from God. So these things, God has everything. So it's like, that's not a stranger to God. That's not a stranger to God, having nice things. But God is not a God of these things. So people are trying to say that if you really do walk for God, and if you are really like a soldier for God or whatever you think, people are like, okay, are you really? Because I see that you're still affiliated with certain people. I see that you still... You don't really see anything really wrong with what these people have done to go against God. So are you really receiving money off the strength of God, or is it the devil? Like, who do you really worship? So it could go either way here. Either they're questioning what God you serve, or they're questioning how do you still have... They could be jealous. Either they're jealous or they're questioning what God you serve. Is going to go either way. It's like, how are you still working around these people or for this certain organization or company, knowing all of the wickedness that's going on, and people are looking at you like, well, you said that God thinks you're amazing, but you're still involved, and you know that who you're involved in, we're pretty wicked. Right? So people are really confused and trying to figure out, who are you, is what I'm getting. So this is why, like I said, it's because of the people around you are going down, or the people that you were tied to are going down right now, and they did something really wrong. You could feel like you are innocent, but you could also feel like God is denying you justice in the situation. Like, you may feel like, why are you going through things like these people as if you're like one of them? You may feel like you're right, but people are calling you a liar. You may feel like you are not guilty, but you may feel like God is like constantly hitting you in the same wound. But like Elihu says, is there anyone like Job who drinks scorn like water? Listen to what he said. It's like he's kind of like praising Job and knocking Job down at the same time. He's like, Job can actually drink scorn like water. You know what that means? Water is smooth. It's a seamless process of drinking water for most people, most healthy people. So it's like all of these people are scorning you because of your connection to these people, but you're able to, it's like you're just coasting through everything like a breeze, like with ease. Like you're not affected by any of the scorn that's coming towards you because of your connections to these people. It's like you're just like, it's like everybody's getting hit and you're getting hit too with things, but it's like you're watching everybody take it the worst and you're able to just like swallow everything so easily. It's like you're also blowing these critics, you're blowing their mind because they're like, wait, you're very confusing to people. And that's what I want you to know. It's like, are you on God's side or their side? And people don't know because you seem to be treading in the middle and staying very neutral. Like you may have connections to the wicked, but you also may have a connection that you made with God. And you're treading right in the middle of this, and your colleagues are all around you with this wickedness, at first they were trying to pull you and keep you on their side. Not anymore. Now they're trying to see where you stand. They think that you're lying about being with them because you seem to be getting favor from God through all of this. And then some of them think you're lying about being for God because some people who are watching you and how this whole thing is playing out, they still see you connected to the wicked group of people who go against God. So you have wicked people judging you now because they don't know if you're for heaven or hell. They don't know if you really believe in God the way you say you do, or if you're just going to stay with them. They don't know if God, is going to save you in the midst of this and not save all of them, if you do get saved by God, then why? They don't know why if you're the one who's been lollygagging with them. So if you've been with them and staying loyal to this group of people, they don't know why God doesn't like destroy you by now. Everybody's confused. You have everybody confused. So the message here, the healing message for you right now, Sagittarius, is, listen to this. Verse 3 said, for the ear tests words as the tongue tastes food. Your senses. See, the reason why they can't figure you out is because you're sensible. You're very sensible. You hear a lot of things that people say. But before you believe it, you test people. When you taste food, you get a lot of sensation from different foods. Like you instantly can tell if a food is sweet, sour, hot, or cold by tasting it. You get the taste of it. You pick up your senses. Basically, this person, one of these people, are seeing how your senses are more heightened than other people. It's something about the way you move through all of this. You have a more heightened perception about what's going on. You're picking up a lot of information, but you're testing the information. See, what you have been doing, and the reason why you have been coasting in the middle so well, is also because you're not just gonna ride with this group of people in everything that they say and everything that they're doing without first checking in with God. And you know that. You check to see what level God's on first before you go and do anything, whether it's good or bad. You have an advantage over people because you tap into the vibe, the energy. You catch on to what's going on in your surroundings. You're starting to realize where the real wickedness is coming from. You're starting to see what this is really all about. You're picking up so much information and you're able to formulate so many different spirits. Like, you're able to discern a lot of spirits around you. And it's like through this whole situation, you can see like, okay, a full breed demon, and then you may have a person that's like a hybrid, and then you may have a person who is just senseless, and then you may have a person who's a devout believer in God in this person, and then you may have a person who is a devout Christian or something, or a believer, but stuck on how it's supposed to look. You have got people down to a science with how they really feel internally about everything that's going on. You're coasting because you're paying attention. And when you pay attention, you're able to capitalize off of this type of thing. That's how you're able to still make money through it, because you're not crashing out like other people. See, other people come toward God and try to say anything. They try to do anything. They try to make jokes. They try to do a lot. They do a lot because they don't believe. They do a lot because they're slow. They do a lot because they're senseless. They do a lot because they're envious. But you're not crashing out so fast. That's why. You don't crash out so fast. You don't quickly speak something out of your mouth or make yourself known or shown to God in a way that your others have done. Not so fast with you. You're very cautious about what you're going to say, how you're going to approach the situation, because you realize that whatever you do is going to determine whether you get justice or not. And because your heart deep down inside, you really just want to make it through, you coast in the middle. Keep the peace. Because a lot of people, you're noticing they're really crashing out. You are paying attention to a lot of things. And you're noticing how if they push and they do that, then this is going to happen. And you don't play with that. That's one thing about you. You know better. You know right from wrong. It's not about who you believe. It's not about what God you believe, because there's only one. There's no such thing as what God. But it's not about that. For you, it's about literally right and wrong. Is it right what your colleagues are doing? No. So for you, it's like, because I'm that kind of person, I'm not going to do it. It's like, it's not sensible in your mind to do something wrong. You don't care who it is. You don't care if you've been friends with people for your whole life, for 30, 40 years. It's not sensible, so you're not going to be a part of it. It's not making sense. Is bullying wrong? Even though it's not bullying. You're not really bullying God, by the way. Just wanted you to know that. Is it sensible? If that's the word we're using, is that sensible? To you, it's like no. So for you, it's like, I'm not doing it. I don't care what they do. I'm personally not going to be a part of that. That's just, I'm not that kind of person. It's not in your soul's DNA to be like that. So you're just like, oh no, this doesn't make sense. And it risks my position. It risks my job. It risks my, like my sleep at night. Like, it doesn't give me a peace of mind. I'm not doing that. You're like, I'm throwing that out of the window. Like, to me, that's just not right. And it's just something I'm not doing. And that's why I like Sagittarians, because you guys really are leaders. Like, you don't do things just because everybody's having fun doing something. You're like, no, right is right, wrong is wrong. But what I mean by you coasting is that you haven't been showing that wicked group that you're leaving them, and you haven't shown God that you're leaving God either. That's what I mean by coasting. You play it how it goes when the time is appropriate. So if they're all on some BS, you're going to play into it a little bit with them, but you're not going to directly come to God with that same type of energy, because you're going to feel horrible after that. It's gotten to a point where you can't even imagine yourself feeling like that. Like, people nowadays use jokes a lot to mock God because they're not believers and they're satanic, but they can't admit that because they look like your normal everyday people, and it kills them to feel like they are. They don't want to face their actual truth. And because they go to these Catholic churches, Christian Baptist churches, wherever they go, they're trying to make themselves still feel connected to something and not to seem like a hypocrite to others. It's all about acceptance. Because I can tell you, I've pushed a lot of people back into church that haven't been in so long because of that. Not everyone takes it with good intentions. Some people are just going to run back and give it more, give more into it, especially because I've entered the room. I've seen all of that. That's not a stranger to me. But the thing is like, they do this so that after I call them out, then they do things like that because they want you to still like them, Sagittarius. They want you to still be on their side, Sag. But the whole time after that, they're going to switch, and you're going to see them doing the negative things. You're going to see them doing the talking, the lollygagging, the whispering, the really childish, negative scorning. You're going to hear it. You're going to catch it. You're going to pick all of it up. And then you're going to be like, yeah, I can tell who these people are. They're against God. But you coast. You don't make it known to them that you pay attention. See? That's how you're so sensible. Because you're not letting your foes know your next move. Neither are you letting your enemies know your next move. Right? Yeah. The healing message for you is that, like I said, for the ear test words as the tongue tastes food. Your healing message is to just be sensible, still, and do the right thing. Thank you.